Yo, what's going on, everybody? This is Tony from the RedBeard Podcast. Welcome to this week's episode. Guys, we got some good stuff for you this week. We're going to be releasing an interview each week. This week, it's Julia Montgomery from Revenge of the Nerds, so make sure you stick around for that. We're also going to be talking about Suicide Squad. We have been telling you guys that we're going to be having this infamous debate, but we are all here, so stick around for that. Jim and I finally saw Thor Ragnarok, so we're going to be discussing our quick thoughts. Also, some news about John Wick 3 and some other cool stuff we're going to talk about, so stick around.
RedBeard Podcast is brought to you by these cool dudes.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? We got the whole crew here. Yeah, Jim, start it off. What's up, dude?
Hi, how are you? We have everybody here today.
We do, man.
It includes Tony and Cooley and Ren.
I had a chocolate-covered potato chip.
And I'm Jim.
Yo, what's up, Cooley?
Yo, what's up?
That's the most awkward intro ever. I think Jim just took it over.
Hell yeah.
Freaking great, man.
Hell yeah.
Dude, I'm excited,
Hey,
man,
you know,
because
you
we got
want
everybody
ratings.
here. We got everybody here, guys, finally. It's been a couple weeks, I think, since we had everybody here, so this is awesome.
Everybody.
Ren, you're all right.
I
What were you
apologize.
I was doing two.
2 weeks.
I was
cool.
missing in action because I've been having sex with my girl.
That's gross. This is a family show.
Not anymore.
It's never been a family show.
No, it's never
What are we
been.
kidding about? All right, anyway.
We tried that for like a week.
Anyway, so guys, it's been an interesting past couple of weeks, man. We've gone back and forth without some people, missing some people, so it's been fun. But Jim,
Yes.
you guys,
Fucking fun.
you guys have you've already seen Thor Ragnarok.
Saw it so many times.
You loved it. You saw it once.
No,
right?
I saw it a couple of times.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
All right, word. Jim and I saw it finally. Ren, you didn't see it yet.
That's a red boxer for me.
Okay, cool.
Respect.
Sick.
Sleeping.
Why? It's actually really good.
I don't know. I've slept on a lot of movies lately, and I just red box them, and then I have like
Yo.
sexy lady time, and by that I mean I wear no shirt, just pants, and I eat an ice cream sandwich, and when it falls on me, I can lick it off of my skin.
Ren is counting sheep.
I've done that. I've done that
All
with
right.
Taco Bell.
I do with Choco Tacos
And
too.
I hate to say this, but I am very hairy underneath all this.
I'm sorry.
Ren is drinking warm milk and NyQuil and
It's not
counting
Taco Bell's
sheep.
fault.
I do what I want. I'm grown. I need sleep.
Jesus.
I'm aging like milk. I need my beauty sleep.
Go see Thor Ragnarok.
Okay.
Don't you have Movie Pass?
Not yet.
Oh, what's the matter with you?
I'm about to get that, but I will say you are sleeping on this one. It's actually a really good Marvel movie.
I'm saving my movie
It really
monies
is.
from a Jedi.
Yeah, but you're gonna see that a couple times. But you
Respect,
should
though.
honestly use some of that for Thor because it's worth it. Trust me.
Yeah.
You got to check it out. I mean, like Jim.
The reason I haven't seen it is because I
You
have no friends.
Use some of that. When you say some of that, how much money are you holding aside for your Star Wars movie?
Like $50. So you're gonna go see it like 9 times, and that's
Yeah.
not enough for 9
Well,
times.
because it's one time, but then you have to have like 2 hot dogs. You have to have large popcorn.
large.
Is there a place that serves hot dogs at a theater? I'm
Yes.
assuming yeah,
Every
there is.
movie
Yeah, every
theater
single
ever?
movie theater.
Really?
If
Where
you
the hell
don't
have you been?
smuggle snacks
I'm
in,
sorry. I don't look at like what you can purchase. I know that they have like personal pizzas, which is just it's disgusting.
Yeah, but you can
Just
get
be
like,
like, I'm gonna
hot
buy a
dogs,
pizza for myself
popcorn,
and watch this movie.
nachos,
nachos,
like-
pretzel.
See, I can understand all that, but hot dogs? I didn't know that was on
Hot
the
dogs
menu.
are wicked easy to cook. You throw them on a flat
I
grill
always
and they just roll them.
I always got
Yo,
like an
drinking
icy.
game. Every time you hear the word hot dog, you take a shot.
I always
get fucked
I
up.
used to always get an icy, like a blue or a red.
Sick. So, what did you think of Thor, though? Did you really like the movie? Let's get back on track here.
No, I enjoyed it from beginning to end. I thought that it keeps your attention the entire time. That it's just a bunch of action. It's hysterical. I think that it's exactly what they should have done with a Thor movie, and obviously they did it. Because let's be honest, the previous Thor movies were kind of among the weakest of the Marvel, universe movies.
I agree.
And this one, I mean, they took everything and went in a different path, and they did such an amazing job with it.
I think one of the things, though, about this movie that really worked is that even though the other Thor movies were a little bit on the low side of like top Marvel movies to watch, they had already established all of these characters. Like Loki, we knew a lot about Thor. We had already met Odin. Like we knew the relationship that like the Hulk and Thor had been through. They had like fought in the past in the Avengers movies or whatever. So all that like stuff had already happened.
But Thor,
so we came into this with all that already being established. So it was very easy for us to just fall into this movie.
But I think in the previous movies, Thor has always been looked at as this kind of serious heartthrob, and they kind of took it in a new direction and made Thor a comical character. And he was very funny. I mean, we found that in past movies, I know I was never a big Ghostbusters fan, but Liam Hemsworth in Ghostbusters I thought was hysterical.
Chris Hemsworth, you mean?
Chris Hemsworth, yeah. Oh, yeah, there's multiple
The guy who
brothers.
plays Thor, yeah.
But they all look the same to me. Either way, I apologize. Chris Hemsworth in Ghostbusters, I thought
Was the
was
best
one
part.
was one of the people that stole the show in that movie. He was hysterical, and he kind of brought that to Thor Ragnarok, and it was a lot of fun to watch.
I mean, but I think Marvel's been very smart with what they've been doing because before, I would say up to about a year ago, they had been releasing these like YouTube things where it was just shorts of Thor and like this dude from Australia. They were just like hanging out together. Like Thor was actually just hanging out in his house, like, and they are coming to his job, and like
Yes.
he was just like a bored superhero. So I feel like it actually worked out. I think the point we're getting at is that Thor is worth checking out, guys. So check it out if you haven't. But here is a really
You've
fun...
had plenty of time since then to see this movie.
So here is actually something very funny about what happened to Jim and I and our buddy Don when we went to go check out Thor. So we're sitting in the theater, right? And it's and I don't know how this happened, but I know that I definitely asked Jim what theater we were going to be like seeing the movie, and he goes, "Oh, it's in theater 7." So I'm like, "All right, cool, right?" So we basically we go in theater 7 and we watch all the previews. And I have this app that basically tells me like I have to piss like multiple times in the movie.
Oh my God,
So I have
that
this
is-
app called Run Pee that I've talked about. You basically start the timer at the beginning of the movie and it tells you the best times to take a piss. And then when you're in the fucking bathroom, it gives you a synopsis of what you're missing. It's a brilliant app.
Whenever I go
Anyway,
see
okay.
It's awesome.
movies with Tony, we call it the piss trilogy because he has to pee right before he gets into the theater, and then he has to pee during the movie,
Yep.
and then he pees directly afterwards. And the fact that he has liquid to use after the movie is over is amazing, but his body knows to save some up.
No, but it's
Like
just
a dog.
I don't know, man. It's a thing. But whatever. So, but my point is we're actually sitting in the previews, and right as I'm ready to start the timer, like we're waiting for like the Marvel comic book intro to happen, and it doesn't happen, and this other intro happens, and it just says your feature presentation, and then the movie starts, and it goes based on a true story, and I look at Don, I go, Thor isn't real. I was like, so what? So and Jim goes, I think we're in the wrong theater. So we get up.
I
we
like
go
how you had to
theater
say it out
3.
loud too. Like Thor is not real.
Well, I did it as a joke to Don, So we left and then we went to theater 3. There was like 2 previews and then obviously Thor started.
I totally screwed up. And
It was that, what was it? Roman J. Israel. That's the movie.
On the
that we were
ticket, it
about
had
to
like a
see
standalone
with Denzel Washington.
I think we were about to see Coleman with Chadwick Boseman, the Black Panther, and
okay,
we
that might have
walked
been it
out.
too.
Like
And
Gary
it's-
Coleman?
No,
No,
Jesus.
wait, what? What you talking about, Cooley?
I thought Gary Coleman was going to be played by Chadwick Boseman.
Yeah, sure.
That would be something.
That's not.
I'm sure he could do it.
I would like to see that.
I would too.
He'd make me believe it.
Anyway,
Hey guys, really, I'm short.
Yo, so one other thing to kind of close out the whole Thor conversation is the post-credit scenes and what we think those actually mean. So at the end of the movie, spoiler alert for those of you who haven't seen it, well, who fucking cares? It's too late. So at the end of the movie, Thor and Loki are on their ship after their world has been destroyed, and they're just trying to figure out where to go next. And all of a sudden, this huge, massive ship casts a shadow on their ship, and we're to believe that is probably most likely Thanos.
It's Thanos.
Yeah.
To sum it up, Loki is sent to go and get the crown, and he goes to get the crown, and as he's getting the crown, he sees the Tesseract.
Yeah.
And he walks by it, and he goes to get the crown. But we all know that he didn't really walk by it. We all know that he took that shit.
Yes.
Because he's Loki.
Right.
He cannot resist.
They don't just show that stuff for nothing.
Right. And he can't resist. Like he cannot resist being Loki.
No.
Right.
Because that's the thing about all the Asgardians is that they are the gods of something, and whatever they are the gods of, they cannot resist doing the thing that they are the god of. Like, that is just them.
Oh, yeah.
And Thor called him out
He's
on
not
it multiple
low
times.
key
Like,
when it comes to being an asshole.
he actually had that thing on his
But,
neck where he could, basically
you.
zap him every time he was going to do something stupid. You know what I mean? And that was, they just set that up so many times over the course of the movie.
Right.
So, they obviously showed him walk by it for a reason, as Jim said, and we knew he was going to take it. So, right.
Right.
So
we know that Thanos is coming for that.
Exactly. So that was an interesting scene, and then there's the very end after the credits where we see Jeff Goldblum actually step out of his ship and basically tries to make everybody think that
It was his idea.
it was his idea, and they should still be cool with him because he's probably gonna get his ass kicked.
Yeah.
But I think the fact that we know he's still alive is just a hint that he's probably going to be in the next movie too.
Well, he's one of the elders of the universe, which means that he is powerful enough to not have to worry about these people. So they can't fuck him up. They can't. Like him, the Collector from Guardians of the Galaxy, and there's a bunch of other elders of the universe that we haven't seen yet. But those two in particular that we have seen are kind of unstoppable, undefeatable. They are immortal. So yeah, we don't have to worry about not seeing Jeff Goldblum again. He will show up somewhere.
I just think it's funny that he felt like he had to get out and explain himself. He probably, I guess, has nothing to worry about anyway.
Yeah, he's just having fun, man. If you didn't figure out from watching the movie, he's a bored dude, man, and he's just having fun with everything that he can, and that's it. That's how he entertains himself. So he's just having fun. He's just the revolt was a success. Good job, guys. That's.
And the results are in. It's a tie. It was a tie.
Yeah. So you guys are back to being my servants. So have a
Good
nice
for
day.
Jeff Goldblum making a comeback, though. I feel like he's been in a couple of movies. He did the new Independence Day, which was dreadful, which was easily one of the worst movies ever. But he was one of the highlights of it. He actually took that movie seriously. And now you see him in Thor. He's in the new Jurassic Park
World.
Fallen Kingdom. Yeah. So I honestly took it with the end credits. I actually took it as they don't show it, but he maybe dies because the people that he's talking to are the people that originally netted Chris Hemsworth and started going food. So you'd think that maybe there's a possibility that they ended up grabbing Jeff Goldblum and ate him.
Well, no, because again, he's an elder of the universe, which he has tremendous power that he's not showing people. Mm-hmm. He has.
So he can take these dudes out.
He could easily take these guys out.
Yeah.
Nice.
With a wave of his hand.
But obviously, if Marvel showed that, they showed it for a reason, and they're probably not showing everybody that he has.
Oh yeah,
tremendous
they
power
always.
Yet. They're leaving that kind of up to us to wonder what happens to him.
Right.
But anyway, with that being said, that's all we got on Thor. Supply and demand investing, where not all investments are created equal. Yo, Cooley, you want to play a game of Would You Rather?
Hell yeah.
All right, man. Would you rather invest in JetBlue at 0% or Delta Airlines at 2.44% over the course of 3 years?
Yo, JetBlue seats are mad comfortable. I'm gonna go with JetBlue.
All right, guys, so Cooley chose JetBlue. So to check out the results, check out supplyanddemandinvesting.com/redbeard.
Supply and demand investing is here to offer guidance when it comes to investing. Whether you want to invest in stocks, bonds, mutual funds, or exchange-traded funds, supply and demand investing is here to help.
And unlike the buy and hold method of investing of the past, supply and demand investing is comparative to any good sports team. There are good times to play offense by investing your hard-earned money in things like the S&P 500, the NASDAQ, real estate, or international equity. And there are times to play defense by investing in fixed income, higher dividend-paying assets like bonds, CDs, or cash. So check out supplyanddemandinvesting.com/redbeard. Yo, guys, so quickly, John Wick is actually coming out. John Wick 3, everybody's super pumped about it because the last two movies were fucking awesome. But one of the things just posted by Men's Fitness and a couple other things, a couple other articles out there, is that pre-production is underway. It's ahead of schedule, so we can hope to see John Wick 3 a little bit earlier than expected. They haven't given us a release date yet. All we know is that Ian McShane is in the third installment. And if you've watched the second installment, you know that basically like every single hitman in the world is now going after John Wick. So you can expect a lot of death in this movie.
Well, I would also expect, I don't mean to just interject,
totally.
I would
I
also
was gonna end it
expect
there anyway.
Lance Reddick and John Leguizamo to be in it. They've been allies of John Wick from the previous two movies, so I would expect they were going to be in it. And there's also talks that Tilda Swinton is going to be in it in some form.
Really?
Love Lance Reddick.
Actually, Tilda Swinton, though, she's like been doing a lot of shit recently.
Yeah,
so.
she
She
is.
would be a good fit.
She is
Yeah.
not
Yo,
attractive.
John Leguizamo's best shit was the clown.
No,
clown?
from Spawn.
Yeah.
I was just
See
gonna,
you at Wanda's.
I was just gonna say it's probably Spawn.
It was
Yeah.
Spawn.
So yeah, and then he was great in The Happening where he drove his car into a tree.
That was the best.
I feel like Tilda Swinton in an adjective, handsome.
Leave
Yeah,
her
seriously.
alone.
No, I'm being honest.
Let her.
I don't know. I thought
I
it was
think
really
she's-
disturbing where
I
Leo
think she's an
DiCaprio fucked her
excellent
in the
actor.
beach. So that was a little weird for me. But yeah, but she was good in Doctor Strange.
Tilda
Well, I
Cock.
thought she was
And
good.
Oh, no,
Constantine?
she was excellent.
Swinton.
Yo, we got to stop talking over each other because I can't hear what Ren just said. What did you say?
Constantine.
Constantine. Yeah, that's right. She was awesome
With
in that.
Keanu Reeves.
With Keanu Reeves. Yeah. No way. Keanu Reeves, dude. What a J. So, John Wick 3. Hey, fun fact. Cooley hasn't seen any of the John Wicks. What?
None of them.
What the hell's wrong with you, dude?
None of them.
None of them.
Yo, I
No.
don't like Keanu Reeves for some reason.
What are you talking about, man? You watched the movie Keanu. He was the voice of the cat. And it was actually named after him. So
Wait,
you
was
had
he-
to have some interest in that movie.
Was
he
he
was-
the honest-to-God voice of the cat?
Yeah,
Yes.
he was. Yeah.
Oh,
Wait, did the cat talk?
Yeah, at one point in the movie, and it was Keanu Reeves doing the
Oh,
voice
that's right.
of
That's
the
right.
cat.
Yeah, I forget. Yeah, well, I mean, Keanu Reeves did his voice for the cat.
You didn't like The Matrix.
No, I did not like The Matrix.
You didn't like Bill and Ted's. You didn't like Speed.
Yo, Bill and Ted is like one of the only things I liked.
You didn't like
Keanu
Speed.
Reeves. Speed was aight.
All right. You didn't like Constantine.
Yo, Constantine was trash.
I don't know, man. It had some.
Constantine was trash, fam. It was fucking
It
trash.
wasn't the best movie. I enjoyed
That
it.
shit was like. That
You
shit
were-
was like.
You weren't a big
Wait,
fan
wait,
of
wait.
Gavin
But did you like
Rossdale
Sweet
as
November?
the bad guy?
That shit was
Because-
like a dumpster full of trash, bro.
You weren't
Sweet
like,
November
wait a
was
second,
really
is that the
good.
lead singer from Bush?
All right. So cool. So Cooley has not seen any of the John Wicks and needs to step on that because they're worth it.
I'll watch it.
It
so,
is
yeah.
worth watching.
Get on
Even
that.
if you're not a Keanu Reeves fan.
On a scale of 1 to Punisher, what is it rate?
I don't know. I will say this. Keanu Reeves talks very sparingly.
Oh, he doesn't talk a lot?
No.
I'll watch it.
Yeah.
And it's more like Christian Bailey talk. It's like,
If you guys, if you've seen John Wick, you know exactly it's just murder. That's all it is. So if you like The Punisher, it actually has more death in it than The Punisher on a faster scale. His body
you say
count was
more
ridiculous.
definite?
So check it out. And that's all we got on John Wick 3.
What we're gonna do right here is go back.
A blast from the past.
So for the past couple weeks, we have been talking about Suicide Squad and how, we all have our different point of view on Suicide Squad. Some people think it's trash. Some people think it had, some solid points to it. So this is one of the debates that we've been waiting a long time to have. So now that everybody's here, Jim, I want to just throw it over to you first, man, because I know that things that you say are going to start a fire with Cooley and Ren, and I really want to get them going. So
Because I enjoyed Suicide Squad.
Because you enjoyed Suicide Squad.
I did.
But hold on.
And I know you guys are going to have positive things to say about it.
I just have to say one thing first.
Yo.
Ren, while they're doing that, would you mind getting it? Because I'm not able to drive right now. Can you go to your car, drive to Stop and Shop, and just get me a box of hefty cinch shacks? Because I'm going to need that shit.
I'm sorry, say that again.
All the trash that I'm going to have to put in
what?
that. Hefty cinch sacks.
Cinch.
Cinch sacks?
Yeah, you know the shit that you pull on and it fucking makes it cinch up? Like,
For me and
You go,
Tony.
Yeah, that's okay. So,
you
all
like
right.
that sound effect?
Yeah, I got it. That was a lot of build up for
Respect,
for that joke.
because Cooley and Ren are the comic book geeks of the group. And I used to be a big comic book fan, not so much anymore. But the movie itself, there's things that I look for in a movie, and storyline isn't necessarily one of them. I look for spectacle. I look for CGI.
Everything that they hate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I'm paying money, I expect to see explosions.
I don't know if you listened to the last episode, but like you are literally hitting the bullet points on everything that Ren said, like the traditional like bro at a movie theater like wants to go see now.
It's fine.
You were like people. They're like, the people want to see. Oh, I want to see this dude beat up this dude. CGI and I want to see spectacle. Like she said, spectacle.
But it also comes down to what you're a fan of. Like, I'm a big Stephen King fan, so obviously when I go to see Stephen King movies, I expect something out of it. And when I don't receive it, I'm pissed. So I know that you two are big DC fans, so when you don't receive something that you expect, you're going to be aggravated. I am not, in the least bit. I have never been a DC fan. Or I shouldn't say that. I don't hate DC. I've always been more of a Marvel fan. DC is a lot looser to me. So when I watch this movie, I don't expect anything out of it.
Right.
And I enjoyed it.
Well, okay. So
I don't know enough about the background of the Suicide Squad. I know a lot of people hated Jared Leto's version of the Joker. I, honest to God, loved it. I thought that it was an excellent turn. I thought that it was completely different from what you expected from Jack Nicholson and Heath Ledger. I thought it was his own version, and I enjoyed it. I thought that he was a gangster. He was more real than the other Jokers.
All right. See, I'll disagree with that. I thought Heath Ledger's was
Heath
probably
Ledger.
the best.
I thought Heath Ledger is always going to be the creme de la creme of the Joker.
Yeah. So, Cooley, you wanted to say something, I could tell, so go for it.
I just want to clarify
Let's
something.
fight right
My
now.
fault. The faults that I find with Suicide Squad have nothing to do with my level of fandom for DC or Marvel or anything. It's all about the quality of the film. So with that, I say continue with your cockstroking of Suicide Squad.
I will say-
so that I can tear it down.
I'll say this.
I'm not
So
saying that it was
here's-
one of the best movies ever made, and I don't think that it's on par with a lot of what Marvel has thrown out, because I think Marvel has done an excellent job with what they've done in regards to character development and storyline. But in regards to spectacle, I enjoyed Suicide Squad. I don't think that it was a great movie, but it's a movie that was eye candy to me.
Suicide Squad, I agree with Jim in some aspect. Like, I went into that movie, I thought the best part of it was Harley Quinn. For me, she was probably the best character. Like,
yeah.
I thought she stole the show. That's just me. She's apparently getting a spin-off movie because of her performance. So
I agree with that.
I thought she was great.
I think she did an excellent job.
I think the other characters in the movie were they were kind of like okay to me. Nothing really jumped out as much as her character did. I liked Ben Affleck's portrayal of Batman, which, you know, he's fine to me. I don't have a big problem with him. I wasn't a huge fan of him in Justice League. I actually thought he was better in Batman v Superman, but whatever. You know, there are a lot of things that I didn't necessarily notice when I was in the film that people pointed out to me later. When looking back on it, that's when I realized, okay, like, that's kind of cheesy. The one thing that did stick out to me in the film that made no sense was when Viola Davis is talking to the government or whoever the hell she's talking to, and she goes, so if Superman wants to fly into the White House and kill the president, she's like, then what are we going to do about that? We need to have a team of people that's going to be able to handle that. And she puts together this team of people that still would not be able to stop Superman if he wanted to fly into the White House and kill the president. Like, if Superman wants to do that, the president is going to die. Like, no one is going to be able to stop that. But I feel like that went right over everybody's heads. Because it was just like this quick line that she threw out there, and then she starts talking about the team they're putting together, and you focus on the team that she's putting together, and you forget about that statement. But I mean, like, that makes no sense. He's Superman. So that was the big problem I had with the movie. Other than that, I didn't notice a lot of the other stuff that people had problems with. Like, I didn't even think to the fact that, like, oh, the Enchantress has powers that she never really used, like, in the film at all. Like, and I thought that was kind of
she used
weird. But I mean, like, she didn't, I don't know.
There's a lot of powers, dude. She used the powers throughout the whole fucking movie until she fought the people that she was fighting.
Well, that's what I mean.
And
in
then
the
she
final
just took
scene.
the powers away and was like, fuck
Right.
it, I'm going to fight you with martial arts.
Yeah, that was true.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. I mean,
Never really thought of that.
She was like, I want a challenge. I'm going to fight you with martial arts.
yeah, and then there was
My father wants rice cakes.
And Ren, all right, go talk about the whole on top of the building and what I guess that was an obvious reference to that I didn't see.
Because it was a Ghostbusters reference. It was like the same cloud and aura, and then, oh my God, it was just a mess. It was a mess. The whole thing. I can't even articulate what I want to say about it because it was such a garbage bag film. There's no way to take these juggalo Walmart characters and craft
I
them
can articulate. Did you go to the store and get me my trash bags? Because hold on. Amanda Waller, trash. Fucking Rick Flag, trash. Fucking Enchantress, fucking trash. Her brother, trash. Keep handing me those bags. Right?
I love Walmart.
Crocodile Dundee, trash.
It was so good. Like, I just...
Crocodile Dundee.
Whoa. Are you bad-mouthing Paul Hogan?
If that's who played fucking Croc Killer, yeah.
I don't know.
I like Diablo. I thought he was a good character.
Diablo was like the only great
Diablo's
character, and the
balling.
fucking ending that they gave him was, again,
Unsatisfactory.
because that shit was trash.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. There was things with that film I just didn't have as big of a problem with that you guys did.
The
But I didn't
dialogue
notice
was
them.
terrible. Like, Harley Quinn and Joker were like, hey, let's ask 14-year-olds at Hot Topic what would be really edgy quotes
like
for them to say.
The villains, the villains that they had to fight besides the fucking Enchantress and her brother, like fucking, they were like Power Rangers putties.
They
Right?
were.
They were
agree with
straight
you.
up fucking Power Rangers putties. Faceless fucking, nobody gives a shit about them. Cannon fodder. Awful.
That was terrible. Common was in there for no reason.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of Common. I don't know why everybody's stoked to have him in films. Like,
Where the hell
cool,
was
dude.
Common?
He
Oh
was-
yeah, that's right. He was. Yeah.
The
yeah.
Joker
All right. He was
killed
the
him.
tattooed man.
Yeah, like,
Because he
in
wouldn't
the
have
club
sex
scene.
I wish
Harley
Common was
Quinn.
more uncommon in films. Let's put it that way. All
He
right?
was good in Smoking
Or
Aces.
rare.
I like that.
Or yeah, what was that other movie he was in? Selma. He was in that, I think. Or him and John Legend did a song together or some shit that I didn't care about. I just,
Yo,
I don't
let's
know.
talk-
I don't
let's talk
care,
about-
dude. Get out of
Whoa, they
movies.
won, like,
Let's
an
talk about one of
Academy
the. Let's
Award
talk
for
about
that.
one of the main plot
Common,
lines.
Common was in John Wick too. Mm-hmm. Like he was one of the guys that he
had
fought
the
in John Wick too.
Mm-hmm.
Guys, what about one of the main plot lines in Suicide Squad, where, what's his name there? Target Master. What the fuck is his name?
Deadshot?
Deadshot.
Will Smith, I liked
Yeah.
him. Sorry.
Yo, Will Smith's character is like,
he was
"Ah,
basically playing Will
I'm a
Smith."
sociopath. I can't love. I can't do it. But yet, like, he's like got so much love for his daughter.
Yeah.
If you're a sociopath, you don't give a fuck about your daughter.
Yeah.
Like it's dead. Like I'm being dead up. Like if you're a sociopath, you don't care about shit.
And his whole thing was like, I'm only gonna do this for my daughter for
Yep.
visitation time. And that I had a huge problem with. I forgot entirely about that. But that I was like, nope, this is already terrible.
Like I'm actually reading the Deadshot comic right now. Deadshot is a sociopath.
Yeah.
I feel like you guys are making fine points, and I just don't care.
That's fine. We weren't asking you, Jim. So.
No, I didn't. I don't expect you to. I am my own entity floating in space.
I heard Ring get a little pissed.
Fucking the Joker. The Joker looks like Cully McCulkin in Home Alone.
Yeah, he was terrible.
Fucking bullshit.
He looks nothing like Macaulay Culkin.
Oh,
He
it's
looks-
Macaulay Culkin, not Cully McCulkin.
Yeah, Macaulay
Chloe
McCulkin.
McCulkin is my porn name.
He looks like Macaulay McCulkin.
Oh, yeah,
Who the fuck
he
is that?
is. That's who he is. He's Cully McCulkin.
Yeah, seriously.
I guess I'm just not as emotionally invested because it's clear just listening to you guys talk that you are invested in these characters.
I'm not
And they
invested in the
just- and they-
character.
it was-
I'm invested in good storytelling, and the
Of course.
storytelling was not there.
It's like it's the same thing if I was having a discussion about the movie The Dark Tower.
Right.
I would be so on end about all the bull crap. I can't believe that I'm the one censoring myself in this podcast. I would be so aggravated with just the garbage that was thrown on screen. But because I was never a Suicide Squad fan, I don't have anything to harken back to my youth when it comes to this. It just doesn't bother me. It's just another movie to me. And I saw explosions, and I saw headshots, and I saw Will Smith. And I thought all of that was cool.
Red is so mad right now.
I'm like, that's cool, but we're arguing about Suicide Squad now, so I don't care about this opinion right now.
Oh God. I mean, it's just one of the.
This is what makes America great.
Yeah, but see, I there are things like I said, I had that
Our
one
opinions
problem
on
with it, but
Suicide Squad.
but see, that's the difference between this is awesome because this is the difference between you guys and him and I, which are like the traditional moviegoer, which like. Yeah, I like spectacle and stuff, but I also am invested in storyline. So, but I don't necessarily know the characters as well as you guys. So when you're saying like, oh, Deadshot is supposed to be like a sociopath, it's like that storyline with him and his daughter, like,
No, I don't. No, because I'm not saying he's supposed to be a sociopath. I'm
You're saying
saying
he is.
calls himself a sociopath in
Yeah.
the film.
yeah, but for some reason,
He
like,
says, "I'm a sociopath. I have a hard time loving."
I
but
get
yet
that.
his daughter is the most important thing to him because he loves her so much.
I
just
think
didn't bother me. I don't know why. I didn't see that shit.
the
It just
main-
didn't bother me.
the main thing is that you can have as big of a problem with this movie as you want to at the end of the day, but the problem is that DC doesn't recover from shit like this. So they'll set up shitty characters and it'll only get worse. It's not like Marvel where they'll be like, this is a movie just to get these characters out and then we're going to fix it along the way. It's like DC's like, here's a shitty foundation. We're going to build a wicked, rickety house on top of this and the whole thing's going to collapse. Like they don't catch up.
But that's
Boom.
DC's fault.
It is DC's
Yes.
fault. But Suicide Squad is a part of DC, and it's terrible. It was a bad movie, and it's going to build future terrible characters into future movies.
Either they're gonna build on top of it, or they're just gonna tear the whole shit down like they do with their comics every fucking year.
They're going to be like, LOL, remember that movie that came out? Like the Hulk. They were like, remember that bad Hulk movie? Here's one 2 years later. Bye.
Bye-bye.
I mean, I think that if DC's going to do that and they're known for actually doing shitty things with their comic books, then it shouldn't be a surprise to you guys that the movies also suck. You know what I mean? It shouldn't be. You should be like, okay, cool.
Thank you for finally saying that the movies suck.
I'm saying that. I'm not saying all of them suck. I'm saying that some of them do. I did not have a problem with what's the one Justice League. Like we already talked about that. We don't have to get into it, but I'm just saying that.
We don't have to get into it, but you just saw Thor.
Yeah.
Ragnarok.
Yeah.
And you saw
much
Justice
better
League.
than Suicide Squad.
You just saw Justice League as well. I just want to know which one you thought was the better movie.
Thor,
yeah, but there's different reasons for it. Thor was a better movie, and Thor was a better movie to me because I had fun watching it, and it was a comedy. But Justice League is not, though. There was comic moments to it. I
just want to know what movie did you enjoy more?
Thor.
I enjoyed Thor more, but I also laughed just as hard at some parts because of the humor they involved with the Flash.
Right, but I'm not talking about just the humor. I'm just talking about just enjoying the movie. And saying,
Thor. I mean Thor.
Yeah.
Definitely.
You're not. The problem with Justice League, Suicide Squad, Batman v Superman, Man of Steel, fucking, I think that's where it ends. Oh, Wonder Woman, and Wonder Woman not so much, but because I really enjoyed that. I don't like stopping and thinking.
Can I say one thing about DC that I've noticed, and I think this is probably my problem with DC if I have any really, is that anytime I go into one of their movies, it has like a depressing undertone to it.
Yeah, and the colors.
The colors are dark, very grimy. They're all the same. Like Marvel movies are bright and flashy and like they're attractive. But like Batman v Superman, even though like I didn't have a major problem with that movie, I walked out of that depressed and not knowing why. You know, like, and then like same thing with like Wonder Woman. Like Wonder Woman was a great movie, but it was dark.
Yeah.
It wasn't that it was a dark theme. It was a dark movie just because of the colors they use. And I feel like it's the color scheme that they have on all of their films.
It is.
It's like you know what you're walking into, whereas as a Marvel movie, the colors constantly. I think the darkest movie I've seen was Spider-Man: Homecoming because they had like that dark tone for any scenes with like Michael Keaton, and they wanted to have that darkness to it. And like the final fight at the end, like those were dark moments. But overall, that's a singular moment where it's like that across all the DC films that have come out.
Darkest movie I've ever seen, Alien versus Predator.
That shit was dark,
It
son.
was dark.
No, it was hard to actually see anything.
Yeah, it was legit, just hard to see.
Yeah, I mean, and I'm actually I want to be a fan of that movie, but I'm not. But I mean, like I literally when I got the DVD, I literally turned the brightness up on my TV all the way so I could see what the hell was going on. That was a bad call. But with that being said, I think that's one of the things I've noticed about DC films.
I'm going to just say, I'm going to put it out there. I'm going to throw it on the table. Like, you guys are actors, right? Like, I just expect more from you when it comes to dissecting a film.
I'm gonna tell you right now. I don't necessarily think that Suicide Squad was a good movie. I just enjoyed it.
Thank you. Because I enjoyed it as well. But I recognize that it's a poor fucking movie.
It's an extremely flawed movie.
And I
didn't realize that's what we were.
I just want people to acknowledge that without thinking. And this is directed at you, Tony. I want you to not think that I'm fucking shitting on it.
No, but then it's like, but
I have to because when you say you like it, like you don't just say you like it, like you just fucking go all in. You're like, I'm fucking putting all my balls in the fucking hand powder. Is that what they call it? No, talcum powder.
Yeah,
I'm putting all my balls in the talcum powder. That's all I'm doing.
Yeah, but I didn't say like I thought the movie was awesome. I didn't say that I oh my god, like I love the movie. I say that I don't have like a ton of problems with it like other people do, but there are still flaws that I mentioned. But my point is is that, well, I guess my retort to that, and whatever the hell that means. I guess, look.
You had it right.
The retort. Yeah, you were right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you actually tell me that, oh, because you're an actor, I'd expect more from you,
Yes.
that doesn't really make any sense to me.
Why?
Because I'm talking about something that like I enjoy, right? There are certain people that I personally think did a good job as a good acting job that you completely disagree with. And acting, I think, is partly up to interpretation. I thought Harley Quinn was excellent. And then I have people that think she was a bag of shit.
No, she was excellent. Harley Quinn did not go in a trash bag, did she?
Ren hates her.
I hate her.
But that's my thing.
But did I throw
Like,
her in a trash bag? Did I throw her in a trash bag?
Yeah,
No.
but it doesn't matter. That's what I'm saying. You don't have a problem with it. She does. I don't have a problem with it. Just because I don't have a problem with her doesn't mean that like it has anything to do with me being an actor.
But
Like
Ren's
I actually think that her interpretation of the character, the way that she portrayed it, worked for me, right? But just because it doesn't work for Ren doesn't mean anything about me being an actor.
But Ren's problem with Harley Quinn is more along the lines of like how they over objectified her rather than how she acted. Like
But-
her acting skills had nothing to do with.
But regardless,
When
though, that's my point. I mean,
when
there's-
it comes to acting, it's not like you have a blank slate. You have a director's direction and the words that are on a page, and you have to create a character based on those two things.
Right.
You don't just have the willy-nilly to create what you specifically want. You have to go with what is expected of you.
Right.
and
Right.
what the director's vision is. So, and also, you talk about shitty dialogue. That's the worst thing for an actor to deal with.
Right.
I've worked on films where I told the director, and he was cool enough to let me change the dialogue because it would have actually made me sound like an idiot.
But
and there are
dialogue-
some scenes where I still do. But you know what I mean? It's just, it's tough.
Dialogue is the main thing that I'm throwing out here as far as like I expect more from you guys. Like, because you know what's good and what's not good, like from reading a script and
Yes.
from seeing something played out. Like you may like somebody's like spin on something as far as how they acted, which is fine. If you told me I like so and so's acting job that they did here, but this movie is trash, I would I would totally high five you and be like, I'm with you on that.
But I'll say stuff like this. I'll say, look, I think that he or she did a good job with what was given to them.
Right.
And that's all that I can ask for.
Yeah.
If you're given trash and you end up doing something decent with it,
But if you told me
Fine.
if you said I like so and so's acting job in this film, I can't argue with that. If
I
you
like
said,
Margot
I like
Robbie's
this film,
acting job in Suicide Squad.
yeah, and if you said I like this film, I had no problems with this, so on and so forth, and you want to argue with me about the merits, the merits of the film.
But I never said that.
I'm gonna step up and I'm gonna be like, yeah, no, I disagree with you, and I'm gonna give you my reasons. Like
Which
that's-
you
yeah.
did. Okay.
And
We're all
that's-
still friends at the end of this.
Absolutely.
I don't know. I think Ren might walk out.
We all take a
Yep.
walk to the hot dog stand. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. So, Ren, do you have any closing thoughts?
It was a trash bag film, and I spent $15 to see the 3D version of that train wreck.
Oh my God! Why?
Me and Tony saw it in the Omni.
'Cause
I don't think it
sometimes you need
cost
to
that
see
much though.
No,
It was just shy.
stuff.
Yeah, definitely. So, did you say Omni or the IMAX? You said the Omni Theater's in the Boston Museum of Science. We didn't see it there. We saw it at the IMAX Theater, bro.
We watched it, and then at the end, I was able to pick out which was the Big Dipper, which was Orion.
Guys, so listen, right? Like audience participation time.
So,
Sure.
Yeah, sure. Go for it.
I would love to hear in the comments on our page what you guys thought of Suicide Squad. If you agree with me or if you agree with Tony and Jim, let us know. Let us know why. Tell me I'm a fucking asshole and I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about or whatever. Like, I don't give a shit.
I
Like,
still enjoyed Jared Leto's version of the Joker.
I'm gonna talk to you. I didn't put him in the trash either.
I will say that some of what comes out of his mouth isn't necessarily the best.
Yo, Jim can.
But that's not his fault.
You're not Jim. Sorry, Ren can back me up on this. I did not throw the Joker in the trash either. Yeah, the Joker is not in the trash. The Joker is straight up. I thought he was good.
I have huge problems with that too, because Jared Leto thought that he did like Heath Ledger type work in all of his interviews. He was like, "Yeah, we made something amazing," and it's like you wore purple sweatpants and you had like your own face tattooed all over your body.
But that's not his fault. That's not an actor's fault.
It was the worst.
That was the
costume
choice
designer.
of the director and of the makeup artist.
Yeah, he didn't design the costume.
Yeah. Right.
I mean, that's not their
But
fault.
his portrayal was good. Like, I mean, he had a very like noir, like gangster, like 1940s like gangster persona that I really enjoyed watching him pull off. And like he was funny and equally scary. Like when he like was in the middle of like, you know, like reprimanding somebody that did something wrong to him or whatever, or like he was gonna fucking kill somebody or whatever. You could tell like he was fucking unhinged, while at the same time just being like a comedian, quote unquote. So yeah, I mean, I enjoyed his portrayal of the Joker.
All right. Well, with that being said, I think we're going to end the discussion of of Suicide Squad here. So, and that's all we got about that.
Yo, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
It's time for lunch.
Angelo, it's 10:30.
Right around that corner, there is a sandwich shop. They sell meatball sandwiches. Best I've ever tasted. Would you go get me two? Come on, partner. Two. Utah, get me two.
Listen up. There was a question that was posed at work the other day.
Yeah.
Somebody said, "What do you think about hot dogs, bro? Is it a sandwich or is it not a sandwich?" I was like, "Yo, it's not a sandwich."
Right.
Right? That was my reaction. What I want to know, what do you guys think? Is a hot dog a sandwich?
No. And my retort to that was, if somebody asked me for a sandwich or to make them a sandwich, I would never get them a hot dog.
No, because it has its own name. Like taco is a taco. Hamburger, hamburger. Hamburger and a hot dog are similar-esque things. It's in a bun. It's meat. It's different things. You still wouldn't call a hamburger a sandwich technically. But then it's like tuna fish sandwich, meatball sandwich. There's all these other different things. Like a hamburger is technically more akin to a sandwich, but you still call a burger a burger.
Yeah, if somebody asked me if a hamburger was a sandwich, I'd be like, yeah, sure, a hamburger's a sandwich. But I would still probably lean towards not a sandwich.
Yeah.
Because when you have your own section on a menu,
that's what I'm saying. It's a different type of. I mean, yeah. There's sandwiches and burgers. Sometimes are in the same, but they're called sandwiches and burgers. Yeah. I just feel like people are gonna be like, oh well, it's a piece of meat between two pieces of bread, so technically it could be a sandwich. It's not though, because
yeah. So is my dick, but that's just not a sandwich.
I don't know what.
Yeah. What?
I know that you can cut this out, but like I drank more than you, Cooley. What's happening? A hot dog has its own specific type of bun that is completely unlike anything that you use for a sandwich or in a burger. It's got that little V cut. You throw some little like cylindrical Play-Doh version of I don't even know what you want to call it. Just a fucking cylinder. I apologize for swearing. That was the first time that I did it.
No one cares.
We're good, bro.
We've said multiple swears this entire episode.
Yo, that shit is like so 2 months ago, man.
I feel like in life, I'm the worst of all of you.
Dude, Cooley just referred to his dick
And I
as
have
a sandwich.
and I'm
So I think
down
you're good. And that made no sense, by the way. But whatever.
But it is. It's like a thick pipe cleaner.
No.
In between
it's
some
more
bread.
than that.
It's edible. It's
and that's-
edible. It's some sort of pork. And it's
Okay. Do you think a hot dog is a sandwich, Cooley? Yes or no? Yes or no? No. Okay. No. Okay. Ren, do you?
Nope.
Why?
Because it has a specific name. When I look at my menu, I want hot wieners, which is more of a hot dog. I look at the frickin' menu at my nearby restaurant, and it's like, sandwiches. It's not in there. It's in the weird frickin' bottom print that's like, hot wieners. Like, it's a whole separate thing. There's no hot dog section. It's not easy for me. It's not in sandwiches, and it pisses me off, and I have to find it specifically every time at 1 a.m. when I want it in the very bottom. It's separate, so it's not a fucking sandwich.
I feel like the verb to sandwich is to take something and put it between two things. And that's not what you're doing with a hot dog. You're putting a hot dog on an open-faced bun.
And that's what that's one of the other things was, as I said.
What about subs?
Wait, I said, hold on. But what if the bun you put the hot dog in splits? And then you, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, the bottom of the bun rips open. Like a sub, like when you go to like Subway, they cut the bread open, but sometimes the back of it rips open and you have all this stuff between two pieces of bread.
That's
devil's advocate, but it was sold to you as a sub. If the bread rips, technically shouldn't matter, right?
So the bread
It's
rips.
defective.
That's exactly what I was going to say. It's a defective hot dog bun.
Well, when you say hot dog,
You don't take the bun and then flip it sideways like you're eating a friggin' chalupa.
Yo, can I say something? Can I say something?
No, wait, Ren was going to say something. Go back.
Okay, Ren.
when you say hot dog, you can have a hot dog plain without the bun. So it's just a hot dog. Hot dog on a bun. It's an additional thing, not necessarily a sandwich.
Word.
Also,
That was a good point.
Also, if somebody gave me a
point.
hot dog with a broken split bun, I take that shit and I go
asking for
back
the-
to the register and I say, yo, I asked for a hot dog. I didn't ask for a fucking sandwich.
Yeah, and they'd be like, why are you mad? We can get you another.
Sir, why are you drunk at 12 in the afternoon?
Sir, let me call
You're just
this
like
op.
gin and juice. Drop the mic.
So, all right. So I guess we're pretty much all in agreement that a hot dog is not a sandwich.
Not a sandwich.
Not a
No,
sandwich.
not
Not a
at all.
sando.
Hot dog is not a sandwich.
All right. Word. So,
So 4 people here agree on that.
yeah, it's not a sandwich.
Right.
So, and I think it makes complete sense. With that being said, I think that pretty much does it for this week on the RedBeard Podcast. Guys, make sure you stick around right after this as we have an interview with Julia Montgomery. Like I said at the beginning of the episode, she was from Revenge of the Nerds, so check that out. And,
She was so cool, man.
She
She's
was
still
awesome.
attractive.
Yo, she called me cute, man. She thought my beard was cute. She thought it was a good look.
You
And
should
then you
call
shaved
her.
it.
And I said, you know what? I'm gonna move to California.
I don't think you said that, but that's fine.
I did. I
So-
said that, and she laughed. She giggled. She said, "I want you to move to California."
Nice. So what we're going to do is we're going to keep releasing these interviews. Guys, also check out the RedBeard Podcast on Instagram because there are tons of Comic-Con footage that we're kind of releasing as we go. Pictures of, us interviewing Julia Montgomery and all the other people that we've interviewed. So just kind of keep tabs on that. Some good stuff. And with that being said, we'll see you guys next week.
Peace.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Yo, what's up, everybody? It's Cooley from the RedBeard Podcast, just hanging out in Rhode Island at Rhode Island Comic Con with Julia Montgomery of the fantastic and most legendary epic film from the 80s, Revenge of the Nerds.
Woohoo!
What's going on, Julia? How you doing?
I'm having a great time reliving the role of Betty Childs here at the autograph signing. People are bringing back memories and giving me huge compliments, and I'm thrilled. I'm so happy.
Betty Childs was like, she was a big part of like my growing up. Like, just
Thank
coming,
you.
yeah, just coming. Like, you got Lewis
Right.
doing his thing.
Right, exactly.
And just trying to form a relationship with you, and you were having none of it, right?
That's
throughout
correct.
The film. Like, how much of the see, here's something that a fan of ours, right, actually
Right.
asked me to ask.
Right.
When you guys started filming, like Animal House, what they did with the different rival like fraternities and stuff, they separated them. right? Like, so like you had
Right.
they had them come on set like 2 weeks early. They all got to build some camaraderie.
Yes.
And then they brought on the other guys, and like they just naturally didn't get along.
Right.
Right. So did they do any of that with your crew,
Well,
or?
we did come on the set 2 weeks early, and the nerds especially had a bunch of rehearsal because, as you can imagine, with those scenes, there's so much going on.
Right.
And that was so fun and valuable. They did not separate us from each other. I became immediately in love with the nerds. Like, I just bonded with Curtis and Robert. Robert had a girlfriend with him, so I didn't see him as much, but our chemistry was like natural from the start, and which is, you know, really lucky always when you're on a
Right.
set. And then Ted came, and we learned later that Ted felt left out. Like, when he came to the shoot, he was like, everyone's friends. They don't seem to know me or want to know me. No, it's just that we had started partying well before he got there.
Right. Okay.
So we had just already been forming a bond.
Right.
So that also worked for Stan and I in the movie.
Right, because like Stan was like so self-absorbed and
Oh my God!
Yeah.
The things he said to me.
yeah, yeah, which led to you being like kind of okay with making the
Oh,
mistake.
totally.
Yeah.
No, yeah, exactly. Oh, well,
Yeah.
I mean, you know, I think underneath that scene was Betty really liked what Lewis was doing, but, you know, it was so unacceptable as the head, you know, cheerleader and sorority
Right.
sister and everything. They're just representative of life, right? Of how, oh, you shouldn't be with so-and-so because they're a nerd or whatever, you know.
Right.
So I think it kind of like connected with her to be treated so wonderfully, and to also, I think even people that are attractive on the outside also have a lot of things that they don't feel accepted about. So it was like, you know, he reflected things that over time it was like, how can I not love this guy, you know, or give this guy a chance?
Right.
So
Like watching the movie again as recently as last night to get prepared for this, I noticed a lot of nuanced like things that were woven into this film, and it's tough to determine whether or not it was done on purpose or if it's just stuff that I'm picking out like just from watching
it was
but
done out of rehearsal. Rehearsals and getting to know each other, especially with the nerds and that all the nerd stuff. It was Jeff Canoe really encouraged and gave ideas, but had a lot. And Jeff was fantastic. But it had a lot to do with the actors and how we just like we're so lucky to be all put together.
Right.
Because everyone, even though we didn't think it was going to be a ginormous hit or anything, we still wanted to do our best and have fun and create things, you know. So like I went and costumes didn't have like the little sorority pin or that Stan would have given me, not sorority
Right.
pin, the frat pin, because we were pinned. So I went out and got one and you know, I tucked it in that costume when I was a football player on stage.
Right.
When we broke up, I handed it to him, and for me that like meant everything because I knew what it was to be pinned and to be a sorority and to be giving this back to him, saying, you know what, I'm not going with you.
So is that ad-libbed or?
There was freedom to do that. I don't know that there was a lot of ad-libbing in it, but the having the pin and giving it back to him and me knowing that I was going to break up to him because I had it in why else would I have it in my, you know, so I'm like, here, I'm so happy to do this.
That was such an awesome scene too.
Yeah.
One more thing, do you watch the Goldbergs? Are you a fan of the Goldbergs?
Yes.
All right. How cool was it to have a Revenge of the Nerds episode and have the panty raid be like the focus of the episode?
Totally. And I want to tell that show, you know, I want to be on the show, not just my photo.
Right.
Like, let me do, like, you know, there's Betty, you know, I mean, give me good lighting and I'll give it my best.
Dude, I don't think that that's something that can't be arranged. I mean, I can't speak for them, but
Right.
I mean, they have so many cameos and shout outs to these things like
in the 80s or whatever. Yeah.
I would
Wouldn't
love
that be fun?
Yeah,
It
that
would
would
be
so good.
much fun.
But yeah, like that episode like was only like a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
And then here you guys are at Comic-Con.
That's
so like
true.
it was just very cool. It was
Yeah,
a
that
very
was
cool
fun.
tie-in. So
Yes, exactly.
but yeah, thank you very much for your time, Julia.
My pleasure, absolutely.
Appreciate it greatly, and I hope you have a great rest of your stay in Rhode Island.
Thank you. I love
for
it
as long
here.
as it's going to be. I'm not sure how long you're staying for,
Not
but
too long, not long enough. Let's say
Right.
that.
but
Thank
enjoy
you.
it. Thank you very
Okay,
much.
Cool.
Thanks for listening to this episode of the RedBeard Podcast. And remember, please make sure to like us on our Facebook page, follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and subscribe to us on YouTube and iTunes to make sure you get all of our latest videos and episodes. And you can always find us and comment on anything we've talked about or what you'd like to hear at redbeardpodcast.com.